Okay, we're gonna do another live. All you screeners, I have to turn on the screen again. So I'm gonna install the pistons with new piston rings. The reason we had to do that is because the tailpipe is puffing a lot of blue smoke, kind of like those cigarette smokers. So to eliminate that blue smoke, we have to change the rings and the piston. In previous video, I've shown you the evidence that lead to that complication. Now another thing is when that tailpipe is smoking, you don't want to be driving behind a vehicle. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got. Piston fell on the concrete in here. It's aluminum. Good. Well, we had to install new rings, and first thing I want to discuss with you is the top ring. You want them to have 180-degree apart. The gap. See, the top one has a gap there. When you turn to the other side, you have that gap with the skirt. And for the oil ring, you have two, the top and the bottom. One could end on this side to help with oil lubrication for the piston pin, and another one for this side. The piston pin is lubricated from under the piston because oil is squirt up from this hole here, from here, under there, and that's for lubricating the rings against the piston wall and the pin. We're going to use this hose clamp for installing the piston. There's another video that shows us that. So what I had to do is, these are not Toyota piston, as you can see. On the side it would say Toyota. These are aftermarket replacement. So what we want to do is just take these bolts off. Let's get this out of here. Once we have our ring gap aligned to where we want it, it's going to take some oil and fill it in that groove. I want to take a look at the piston, what the direction it's going in. We have to remove this cap. Now, it's important in replacing this ring on to maintain the gap for the piston ring 180-degree apart. This is going to help build cylinder pressure. If you don't have them apart, the cylinder pressure will most likely be blown off by the ring. Since the gap are close together, now you could develop a gapless ring which will eliminate all the blow-bys that the engine normally experiences. I'll show you how you do that. If you're in the machine shop and you're into high-performance engine, a gapless piston ring is preferable compared to a piston ring that has a gap. A gapless piston ring will offer maximum cylinder pressure, and that contributes to maximum power and fuel efficiency, minimizing blow-bys and oil burning into the cylinder. That's the benefit of a gapless piston ring. Most of you never seen it. A lot of guys, they never seen a gapless piston ring. They'll probably tell you there's no such thing. So that there's a tool to make this simple. Put this in, but I'm not going to go invest in a tool just to install 4 pistons. Are you kidding me? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that ring is completely compressed all around. And tighten down on the clamp. This is going to contract the ring into the groove. And we want to leave it flawed. And I just want to place some oil in here on the cap. This is going to sit on the crankshaft journal. I want to drop some down in there. And again, we have to look at where the piston is going to place. So you can also get some oil on the cylinder walls. And let's not forget where the wrist springs are. When this engine starts up, it's very important that this oil is in all the areas where parts are moving to reduce friction, wear and tear, and damage. Now this is the part where you can make or break it. So you have to tap, make sure the ring of the hose clamp is completely seated on the block, the edge of the cylinder, and then you send this piston in. I just want to push that all the way down. And since the crankshaft is positioned to accept that cylinder, that piston, it's already fitted in position with the bearing cap. Just have to go from under where the oil pan is and secure it with the cap, making sure you place oil in here. I believe both nuts are going to be torqued to approximately 22 foot-pounds of torque. So we have this cylinder down, and these two are up. So the next one we're going to do is this one here. But what I want to show you is on a gapless piston ring. It requires 2 rings. So back in the days, we would put 4 sets of rings. Let me show you that. So these are those rings. In the previous video, we explained the oil ring, a top ring, and a second ring. But what I want to explain to you here is the gapless ring. You see, you have to look at the thickness of the ring. that's going to fit in the groove. Most of the time, since the top ring is thinner than the second ring, the piston, the groove will have to be machined. It will have to be widened, most likely taking it towards the top and some towards the bottom. You don't want to make the top too thin because it could break during the power stroke. So you're going to try to work that machine within the two sides of the top ring to fit two rings. So you should be able to take two rings like this when you finish your machine work and go like that and fit them in there like that. See how they fit in this oil ring groove? But that's what you want with the top ring. Now when you get that done, these two rings are going to be sitting in the same groove. You already see how it's gapless. So I place it 180-degree apart. There is no gap in this ring for gas to pass by as if it was like this. You see you have a little gap like that when it's in the piston, in the cylinder, and it's high pressure in here. It's approximately 180, 190 psi when this piston goes to top dead center for the power stroke, for the spark plug to ignite, and the gas will seep by. That's the blow by into the combustion chamber. So that gap, I place the ring on top of it like that in the cylinder on the piston. It will eliminate all the gap that's associated with the piston ring. So this is a high performance application, and it requires machining of the piston, or sometimes the rings. You could make the rings thinner, but that is a trial and performance application. You will not find this technology in today's common car, and it's technology that should be in today's car, but they wouldn't do it because it will make the engine more efficient, burning less fuel, and creating no blow-bys. So what we want to do now is install. The first ring we want to install here is the oil ring, and that has to replace one from the bottom. This is a soft ring, it's thin. So it's not that difficult to get into the groove. We have the oil, I should say, accumulator ring, because it holds the oil in the groove. This will go from the top. So when we take a look at this accumulator ring, it's showing that this small ring should be sitting on it and not the way it is right now in the groove. This will be the wrong way for installing the oil ring. We have to install the oil ring first, closing it up as much as we can. Then we're going to go with the top. And obviously when we finish with the top, we're going to go to the bottom. Here's the thing, when you're placing this ring on the oil accumulator ring, you have to make sure this ring is sitting on the accumulator ring and not directly in the groove. So when you're moving the oil accumulator ring, the seal ring will move. Has to go that way. If you do it any other, you'll have the ring installed wrong. So now we have to take a look at where the gap is for this ring. That's where we want it, right here. I'm going to place this one facing this side. The opposite side. finger and press on the sides, making sure the ring has a spring action to it. So when it sits in, it'll fit in there easy, and the ring will have less likeliness to become broken. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure I set the gap over the pin. So when the oil seeps by that gap, it will be right around this pin area for lubricating. You don't want this over here, right? Because remember, the splash from here is going to come up from the crankshaft onto the connecting rod. It's going to squirt oil onto the cylinder wall. So this is going to get lubricated by the squirt. And I'm assuming during that squirt, some of that oil is going to go into this dome, and from the motion of the piston, it will eject the oil from the holes that I show you in there out into the groove, and that oil will do its lubricating, but the excess will eventually end up here. So our next ring is the second ring. Doesn't matter which direction you look at it, from top to bottom, it's the guy in the middle. So the instruction is there for you to tell you it's the second ring from the manufacturer. Now you have to look at these rings when you're installing them. You have to look at the face, the rear. What you see is a T that signifies top. So now we want to get this in. So you're going to see yourself, there's a tool to do this too. You just put it here and you expand it a little, and it goes on. But you see, expanding the ring changes the tension of it when it's in the cylinder. It could become more tight and aggressive against the cylinder wall, scraping it, leading to excess wear and tear on the wall. So the best way for doing this is you have to place it in like this, right? Let's start where we're going to put the gap over here, right? So start like that. Now you're going to lift this part up and you're going to turn the ring like that. You see that? As you're turning the ring, you want to draw as close as you possibly can while getting in. Notice this is not in yet, right? I don't want to pull on that edge to get it in the groove, because that will stretch the ring, changes the tension, and that will affect the cylinder pressure. So I want to keep walking it in the groove. You see, pressing it back in the groove, pressing it. By pressing it here, it's going to alleviate the clearance up here. So now I could pull here, keep pressing here, fitting it in the groove. So I drop that in, and it's in there, perfect. Just like it should be installed by hand. Now before you do that, there's one thing you have to do. This is all the line of high performance. This is not a high performance application, so it doesn't really matter. You want to take this ring and place it in the cylinder. Okay? When we place that in the cylinder, so we're going to take a piston and install it in there. And just slightly tap it down, right? What we're trying to do, we're trying to get the pistons, the ring square in the cylinder as it would when it's on the piston. Now when we take a look at in here, see the gap? Well, that's an acceptable gap from the manufacturer. So we don't have to file fit this ring for installation. Now let's take this out. The thing with the ring on the end where the square is, you want to feel it with your finger. You want to make sure it's not sharp where it could like scratch or tear at the fingers, the prints. So this is good. This is already set up from factory like that. You have to do those things to be secure, I should say. So we're going to be installing this ring now. This is the top, so you have the gap over there, one the gap over here in this one. So this is an easier ring to install because it's closer to the top. You don't have to do that much stretching of it. See how easy it is, guys? You're going to buy all them expensive tools, and it's in there, right? I just got to set that 180 alignment. See there, one's there, oil is over there, oil is over there. Now I'm going to place this cap over there so I know that it has to go with that cylinder. Another thing is you don't want to mix the parts, the center caps and the bolts and stuff like that. You have to be careful. You want to replace. We got some pirates around here. They're the parrots. Maybe they're attacking the mango tree. Got to be. So you might not be able to do this with all pistons because on the bigger pistons like diesel engine, the rings are farther apart. But if I was you, I would still be able to use a few of these clamps. Putting them together, you get all the rings. You know, you just put a little spot weld the whole clamp together. So there's a trick to this too. Once you have it fitted, take this thumb, hold the ring in position exactly where it ought to be, and then you can use a screwdriver for compressing it. Always checking alignment. So yesterday, I went to the beach. I'm in a different mood today. So some of the creatures, some nice ones. So if I look at the screen right now, it will say no views. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that I have no views. It looks like insanity. Like, why is this guy making videos and nobody's looking at his videos? And no in his video. You see, when you do stuff like that, you have some people that sit back and say, man, what this guy's doing makes so much sense. Why is nobody looking at what he's doing? So you see what we have done here? We have removed the tool before we got the ring in position. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it a little cover it. I guess the reason no reputable person will do this because they got good credit. And they got good credit. I don't need to get dirty. So that coupling needs to go there. So there you go. If you make a mistake, it can be corrected. But what you need to make sure you do is that you don't smack that piston too hard, too much, and break or twist the ring during your installation. So now it's time to go below and install these two bearing caps onto the connector. Then we'll return to install the two center. garbage. Just throw it into the environment. Don't even put it in the can. It's good. It came from the earth. All the garbage came from the earth. Throw it right back in the earth. Don't stress pollution, my friend. Second ring, tea on top. So before throw this in the garbage, maybe I should put it in there. So one thing you gotta know, if you forgot, like you said, Jim, I threw the two instruction paper away. How do I know which one goes where? Well, this ring, this bottom ring can't fit in the top, and this top ring can't fit in the bottom. So that tells you this guy here belongs on the bottom. The main thing is you gotta look for that T. I hope I look for the T on the other one over there. T has to be at the top. Obviously. Could T stand for anything else? Maybe portion or total. Just being a This is like making Chinese food. So, see this? Garbage. Throw it in the fucking street. That's where it came from. Garbage. You know who should be cleaning that? The corporation. Garbage should not be our job. Because remember, we pay for packaging, we pay for shipping, we pay for product. Now I gotta pay to get rid of the garbage, which is the product. The product always becomes garbage. Think about it. Anything you eat turns to feces, sweat, and stink. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take it easy, fella. Don't follow me there. Law always work against you, you know. Always. That's why you have to become superior over the law. Don't let the law make a fool of you. Make a fool of the law, and you shall profit. So I'm just checking my alignment and with these bolts again. I gotta go below where the oil pan is. This calf back in. See this one? Forward, forward. This one has the T, right? I checked for the T. Yeah, this one is set correctly. I'm always correct. I always check my stuff so many times, making sure that it's the way it should be, the way I want it to be, not the way it should be. Because the way it should be is just like listening to other people. So at the beginning of this video, I give all the information that is necessary. We're idling right now. If you're watching the video, thank you for idling with me. You know who's the idlers? The devil advocate. Hey, the devil is a good guy. Don't, you know, get ill-mannered. It's a good guy if you know who he is. To save your life from nature, maybe? The creatures? Let me focus what I'm doing here. Shut my trap. Down behind that urinal. Cylinder wall. You need to have oil in all these areas where moving parts are. Burning cap. I think there's no in there already. So you always look at this point, pointing forward. So you see, you could take that technique, tap, and one smack, send it all the way in. Don't try to do bang, bang, bang on it. That's not gonna work. This is not carpentry. Don't try to be John Carpenter or, you know, that other guy who was a carpenter. I think his father was. places. The flies, mosquitoes, bugs, worms. People say life is beautiful. Sure. I guess you might be carcass. Hello, carcass. You see this here? This is a real tight one. The machine shop guy did here. This is tight. Anyway, let me get the oil in there. I have a feeling when you assemble this stuff, these guys, they're fucking assholes too, you know. Mechanics, machine shop guys, fuck you, niggas. They will assemble this stuff without using lubricant. They believe in fuck up. You go fuck your mother. So when they fuck up, they make more money. Those family guys, those little fucking demons multiplying. Yeah, I do my fucking evil too, motherfuckers. Think you're the only one winning? Fucking low life family degenerate piece of shit. You better off jerk off in the fucking toilet. You don't have to be nice to people, when you're paying them your money. It's either you accept my money and you provide me a fucking superior service, or fuck off. I'm gonna come back with a baseball bat for you. You see, I'm showing you some people think because like they got a skill, they got a trade and a craft that nobody else's know. They could be selective in who they serve. But like you got some shops that's closed their door to some people, you burn them down, bust them up. Understand? Fuck you. You serve all, or you serve none. We is the law. Fuck the courts. Burn down the goddamn court too. So you got that in position. You think the people that work in the Justice Department or anybody, they couldn't do anything without this car back in the days. The police couldn't go to the citizen to make an arrest. And you know how war was back then. Some of them fell in love on the battlefield. Today you can't do that. Plug like this hit you in the head. But dang! Well, I got it in. It might look unprofessional, but guess what? Who's the family guy to deserve professional? You think he knew what he was making when he was stroking it in the... Huh? You think he know if he was getting a boy or a girl? Well, you pay for your service. Take what you get. Don't complain. If you want to complain, you can go and do it yourself. That's always the best way. Jerk off. You shameful bastards. So I'm going down there again to put on these two cap onto these pistons, these bolts. And then we're going to have to clean up here, start putting the cylinder head back. Well, I think we did it, Bobby. Called Joey to tell Sarah to come start the car. Ma's ready to go to the hospital. Pa is in hurting situation. That's my southern accent. I used to live down south in my ass. So now I gotta clean up in here. Put some more barbecue sauce in there. A little salad dressing, olive oil, and Caesar dressing. And that's it, guys. We're ready right now. We just stir up all that dressing in there, mix it up with the metal. We're gonna be chewing on some rubber band later on, and everything's gonna be good. Now, I had to clean up over here. Take all that silicone out. This need a gasket. I could make a gasket for here. I could buy a gasket for here. I just put some toothpaste and stick it back on. Now, this cylinder head was installed and the engine was running, and the surface of the head gasket kind of like pastes itself onto the metal. I don't want to scrape it away because when I reuse that head gasket, the area that this material is missing from is most likely going to cause a seepage in the water passage or the oil galley in the combustion chamber. So I'm going to leave it dirty like that. That's how she likes it. Dirty. She wants a dirty bad boy. So let's bring the head gasket. So here's the head gasket. This is the exhaust manifold, shim gasket. Shim. You know who shim and ham? If you know anything about religion, shim and ham. Most people like ham. When they're speaking, you're gonna hear them talk about him. Ham. Ham. Those are brain dead people. Okay? Religion followers. So I look over there and I see this imprint over here. And I look over here and I see this imprint over here and over here. You see, you have to look. You have to look and use your sense. Okay? We're all given it. This is how it goes. Okay? It goes down like that. So all those missing pieces from here that are stuck here are going to in sync themselves back when I place this in position with the cylinder head and clamp it down. I'm not talking about the musical group in sync. I'm talking about smashing it together, right? But before I do that, what I want to do is I want to place some of this. This is a gold spray, right? You see how the gas? Wait, first, this is how it goes, right? Let me turn the camera. Maybe you can see over here. Yeah. So I just want to take this. I shake it up and spray the gasket with it. So you always have to have this substance in this spray can. You know, for head gasket. Now I have to turn it around. Spray on this side. You saw the fly just now? It's a toilet fly. They call it a house fly. I'm telling you, it's so beautiful in the cold weather. You don't have none of them things around you, right? But remember, the right side, which is the right side, goes like this, right? Goes like this. It's so quick to lose focus. Yeah, it goes like this. Now this stuff is like gummy. It's like tacky. So I'm gonna leave that there. I just wanna tighten that out here. Hey, take it easy, fella. Right, you see that? They call it a piston, right? I think that like this, because that is what comes up and takes the bang, right? Sends it down to the crankshaft. I have the feeling piss ton is like a bad thing. Look, I'm in my underwear, you see? I'm doing mechanic in my underwear. Fuck the shops. Gotta dress up in all them hot coverall. At least some of them have air conditioning. But fuck working for anybody. That shit sucks, man. The other man rich and you sweating and bleeding? Hell fucking. I'd rather rob and steal than work for someone else. Robbing and stealing pays. You're just smart at it. You know who's smarter at robbing and stealing? So I got the cylinder head here with the intake manifold, everything bolted on it. It's a backbreaker. That's why you don't work for anyone. Don't break your back for anyone, my friend. Don't do it. Find better ways to make a living. Go do farming or something. Okay, now I just want to flip this over. Look at the bottom where the cylinder head gasket is going to be mated over there. You see that? Well, this is just machined because it had a lot of corrosion on the surface. So I'm pretty sure I had a razor blade. It's over there. I just want to clean the oil off of it. Because oil is what prevents the gasket from sticking. Now the challenge here is just to sit these two here into these dowel pin down here. That's the difficult part. Last time this took me a while. So we have it, it's in position. I'll have a few hoses to connect, like from here and down here, and the back here. But what I want to do first is I want to torque this head down. Then I'm going to get to every other thing. This is going to give, time for the head to seat itself into position. These are all the nuts and bolts. See? Instead of going and buy a tray for putting all this bolt in, you know what this is, right? It's a bottle for the purple blaster. I just cut it open and chuck all the bolts in there. Spending money? Where am I going to get that from? I don't make money. So these bolts on the threads require oil. Some bolts like this will require a sealer. You will have to investigate if the bolt goes down into the water jacket or into a private reserve hole like this one that will require oil. If the bolt goes into the water jacket, you're gonna have to put a Teflon paste on the thread for sealing the coolant steaming into the combustion chamber. And also another thing, make sure you put your bolt in the correct place. So you see these two bolts are of the same length. So one will be in the front, and you have another two here. They're of the same length. Then you have two here are not of the same length. But since I have a washer in the rear, put that bolt in there. So you have to look at everything that you're doing. Everything. Memories. If you don't have good memory, get out of this trade. Seriously, you're gonna get hurt. This trade could kill you if you do not have good memories. Memory. Right? Did I say that right? Me no speak English very good, you know. Me eat the taco and me fart for me mouth. I don't speak no English so good. Eso Americano say me no speak no English. So I say Americano. You speak like Fagatio. You sound like Fagati Americano. Americano laugh at me. He said, I send war to your country. I'm going to kill your poor mother scunt. You're picking with me? Don't you know who I am? I am the wigger. My brother is the nigger. This one don't have a washer. Oh, the washer's already there. Yes, my friend. I work at the Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, you get good benefits. Free taco, free soda. I carry home for my wife and my children. Sometimes I put the taco in the mail and send it to Quantarador. I kind of noticed like when I start talking, all the viewers are gone. Oh wow, one thumbs up. There's always one person that give me a thumb up. I think that might be my father because no one else will give me a thumb up. That has to be my father. Oh, if that is my father, thank you, Pop. I was thinking of going to the beach again today, but I said, man, there's a lot of, how do you call them? Ion people. You know, people that ain't got no purpose. They're looking for love. I said, boy, let me get out of here. And next thing you know, they fall in love with the rum bottle. And they fall in love with the smoking stick. Next thing you know, big fights in the parking lot. God forbid if an American is there, it's gunshot. Hellfire. So yeah, how long we been on this video now? It says 1 hour 10 minutes. Today is a nice day. There's no sun. There's a lot of clouds. Oh, there's a nice one up there. You want to see it? You want to see how the sun's coming out of the cloud? Look, that is a beautiful shot, right? Yeah. I'm gonna show you when the sun come out again. I have a lot. My boss is gonna get angry at me if I keep showing you that I'm not working. Here we go. Here we go. The hell with the boss. We have to see the sun. That's a nice image. The blue, the white, the gray, right? And then you're gonna see the hole in the sky. Hole in the sky, take me too high. Come on, fella. You can see it, right? Let's do what we gotta do. I like looking at the sun. It burns like the back of your eyeballs. It's like a high when you do it. You know how I know about high gasoline? Cloud got the sun again. Oh, look again, look again. Now it's coming out. See? Wow. You could go welder's eye doing that. That's the kind of high you get. Like when you're looking at the sun and you look at a welder welding with no glass, it's the same feeling. Everything is like burning, not burning of a. You know. So I guess nobody got to see that sun light just now. I think the torque for this was 22, 42, 47. I'm just gonna put it at 22 for now. So you can just get that head gasket to seal. And then we're gonna come back and finalize the torque. 46. Maybe 47. 47. We'll go with 47. This is according to Toyota specification. placing these two cams is going to require alignment. In other videos, you see it in. These are 10 millimeter steel bolts. Insert in aluminum. These bolts has to be torqued to 9 foot-pounds of torque. If you open the torque, it's going to send the cap down to grind on the camshaft, and up here it's going to start rattling. So you have to be very careful with that part. So there's this little rubber plug that goes over the 10mm bolt for the tensioner to be locked. Once the belt is on and the timing is set, don't make your mechanic throw it out the window. Most of them throw the stuff out of the way because more problems is more money. Everybody's into making more money. Let me show you something. This is when you're doing your work and everybody thinks it's just 1, 2, 3. See all these plastic plugs on these harness? When you touch them, they're going to just crumble in your hand, and then you're going to have to find a way to fit this pin into the sensor, and most likely use some electrical tape, wrap it, and secure it in that location. I don't want you to have these old vehicles. That's why they make them like their mother, to die, rotten and stink. Those engineers, those stupid fucking educated bastards with all those diplomas and books, they're fucking dumb. That's why they require education. If you weren't stupid, you wouldn't need education, would you? Just like if you're not hungry, you wouldn't need food, would you? Fucking education people don't have no goddamn common sense, my nigga. None. Always seeking capital. That's education. They lose common sense. They become stupid. They think they're gods. Like they shit don't stink. So, let me finish what I gotta do. Because when the customer comes and he shows them that, he's gonna be like, you did that. You're the fuck for that, not me. You're the ones who broke it. And be like, hey, I'm not the one who buy a fucking cheap piece of car like you. You understand? Take your fucking car out of here. Grab the baseball bat. Put it to their legs. Fuck the people. Motherfuckers rob from you, steal from you, smile in your face. You know, you're friends with them. this here. Just to get the bolt here for this alternator, gotta take this out. Or I could do it this way. Yeah. Save myself a headache. My battery's low. Okay. Start getting these hoses on. I'm going to start hooking up all these connections for the harness. We're building a 4-cylinder hot rod, an American hot rod, American, Japanese, Chinese hot rod. We're going to go set land speed record. Hopefully we could get this thing to lift off to go to the moon and come back with new technology from Uranus. How to build a better toilet. Uranus, Your Highness, I found a way to better toilet. It's called a bidet. see, here's another. Why is the camera tripping out like that? I guess the battery must be low. He sees another one here with a broken plastic plug.